my love of flowers and plants. And so I can just talk through. So I started out, about 5 years ago. I was putting my designs onto mugs and placemats and greeting cards and prints. And then I signed up for a project called Cultivator, and my mentor suggested that I put my designs onto fabric. So as a consequence, I now get my designs printed onto linen, and then I make them up into lampshades and cushions. I've got some velvet throws, which I'm going to be bringing out when the weather's a bit more velvet throw sort of weather. But last year I put my Bird of Paradise design, which is a strelitzia. I put that onto velvet, and that was really popular. That was like a sort of vanity project that I thought, oh, I really wonder what this looks like on velvet, and then it went really well. So I don't know if you can see, that's sort of the linen. That's the Bird of Paradise strelitzia. I sell my cushions with either feather pads or hypoallergenic pads. So in my Etsy shop, you can select which one you want. So that's the dark blue Bird of Paradise, and this is the teal Bird of Paradise. So it's got a teal, the background is a little bit different. Let me show you close up. So it's more mainly as a customer request. Somebody asked if I could do teal, and actually it looks really nice. So quite often my best ideas come from my customers, and that's how that happened. So if I just go through, like, this is an old design, but I just was sort of trawling through my library of designs, and I thought this was like a Christmas card, not on the sort of pistachio mint background, but it was on a dark background. And I did a sort of series of Christmas cards that were inspired by Mary Delaney's paper cut flowers. I don't know if you've ever seen them on the British Museum website. They're so gorgeous, and she was a real inspiration of mine. She started her creative career at the age of 70, so I got ahead of her a little bit, but she was such an inspiration, and I really loved the way that she cut out all these beautiful flowers and placed them onto dark backgrounds. And so I did a series of Christmas cards that were sort of inspired by her work. And then one of them was the Cyclamen, because that's quite a sort of wintry flower. I don't know if you can see that very well. And so then I thought, oh, that would make a really nice fabric. So I got it printed up, and I'm really pleased with it, how it's come out. So when I normally make my lampshades in 3 different sizes, but if you have a bespoke size, then I just get in touch, because I can do different sizes as well. But the standard sizes that are on my Etsy shop, and that I've got £10 off on my Etsy shop today, all you need to put in the code MADE LOCAL in the checkout, and you'll get £10 off all my lampshade sizes. So this is a 20 centimetre diameter, and then I have 30 centimetre diameter. That's the flame tree flower, flamboyant, I mean. I'm not nervous at all. So that's flamboyant. So that's 30 centimetres. There you can see the difference. And then the largest size that I have on my Etsy shop is the 40 centimeters, which is this one here. So there's a bird of paradise. You can see I've got the dark blue bird of paradise and the teal bird of paradise, both in 40 centimeters. And they are currently on my Etsy shop. The 20 centimeter ones are £55. So you'd be getting £10 off today. The 30 centimeter ones are £65. I should have checked my prices beforehand. And then the 40 centimeters are £75. So you get £10 off. And it's free postage as well. And it normally takes me about 2 weeks to make up an order because I get the fabric printed and then I sort of try and slot in times when I do my making. And so like from placing the order, it generally is about 2 weeks to be made up. So yeah, I'm pleased with that design. Let me just show you some more without, I'm not really able to see who is watching, so I'm just going to keep talking and hope somebody's watching. So this is Lily of the Valley. I don't know if the light is, maybe if I stand there. So that actually matches my outfit. Which I didn't realize until I was sort of looking at the screen. So the Lily of the Valley, that was actually many years ago, a friend of mine asked me to make, I used to cut vintage fabrics into little shapes and create sort of fabric collages. And one of my friends asked me to do a design for her mum using her favourite flower, which was Lily of the Valley. And so then after that, I really liked it and turned it into an illustration. And so it's available as a print on my Etsy shop, but also as lampshades. And I haven't got a bigger size at the moment. I was going to show you, I've got some fabrics that I haven't made up yet into lampshades, so I was going to show you those. Yeah, so that's Lily of the Valley. You can see it's quite difficult to see the linen. Yeah, so printed onto linen in the UK. And another one of my favourites, which is coming out everywhere and all over the place at the moment, is the Verbena bonariensis. So the light, I'm just trying to get the light right. That seems to be okay. So yes, that's like on a really citrusy background. If people, because they're my own designs and I can manipulate them, if people want different colour backgrounds, for example, then I can generally match them to suit the decor. So, which I've done that for this one a couple of times this time. This is the 30 centimetre, and that's £65 on my Etsy shop, and with £10 off, that makes it £55. So, and it's also available as a cushion as well. So that's the Verbena bonariensis cushion with a nice little tag. It's the little details, isn't it? Yeah, it's printed onto linen. This one is with a hypoallergenic pad, but I can also do them in feather pads as well. And they're on my Etsy shop. So go and have a look. This is dog cockles. If you can see that. So that design was inspired by when we lived in Newquay. I used to take Rufus on Fistral Beach for dog walks, and if you look along the strand line, you'll see all these like half shells of, they're called, I looked them up, and they're called dog cockles. And I thought they're so pretty, and I really like the way they sort of look like they're being painted by the sea sprites. So I've created, first of all, this started off as a print, which is also available on my Etsy shop. But then again, I thought it would look really nice onto fabric. So I've put that on, and that is also available as a lampshade. There we go. That is the Dog Cockles 30 centimetre lampshade. So you can see, I don't know if it's better. Just trying to get the right light. I'm in a very dark room, as you can guess, so trying to work out the best way for people to see the products. So as you can probably tell, I'm not a professional QVC presenter. It's quite, we're having to learn a lot. And this event, we've learned so much. Like, for example, how to live stream from YouTube and have it embedded into this platform is amazing. So then, yeah, so apologies for the non-professional finish. But here we go. There's Dog Cockles, that's a 30 centimetre. So on my Etsy shop, they are £65 for the 30 centimetre, and if you use the code Made Local, then you'll get a discount of £10 off today, and that's free postage as well. So there's all free postage on my Etsy shop within the UK. So yeah, that's Dog Cockles. And then this is one of my favourites. This is Dahlia. And if you have ever been to the National Dahlia collection just outside Penzance, you will know where I got my inspiration from this. It's incredible. It's just, if you get a chance, if you're in Cornwall, or if you're coming down to Cornwall in around September time, it's absolutely amazing. It's a beautiful field full of all the different varieties of dahlias. So yeah, the name National Dahlia Collection speaks for itself. But yeah, so this was inspired. Again, this is available as a greeting card. I haven't made it as a paper print yet, but if anybody wanted it, then just get in touch. So it's printed onto linen and in the UK, and then I make them up into lampshades and cushions. I've actually got a big, just ordered some fabric to have to make a cushion with this, because I thought that would look really stunning. I'm really pleased with how this looks, and I think it might actually look quite nice in my sitting room as well. So Peter doesn't know this, but I'll probably make a big one for us. I like to have a change. Yeah, so there's a little tag that they all come with, and which is a new thing that I've designed, and yeah, made from linen. I've got £10 off these on my Etsy shop this weekend. If you just use the code Made Local at the checkout, then yeah, it's also available as a bigger size, which is the 40 centimetres. So you can see in comparison. So, and I scale my designs so that they fit. So for a 20 centimetre, for example, you can see that the print is smaller. See that the flowers are smaller, because then I scale it to fit the dimensions of the shade. so that they all look sort of, I design each shade design individually, if that makes sense. Let's have a look. Yeah, so that is 20 centimeters, and that is 30 centimeters. And then it's also available in the 40 centimeter as well, which I've got an order for a 40 centimeter Dahlia. So I'll be able to post some photos next week when I make it up, because the fabric should be arriving really soon. So yeah, I get my designs printed by a company in the UK who print them onto linen, and then they send them back to me, and then I make them into cushions and lampshades. And yes, all my designs, this inspired by the National Dahlia collection in just outside Penzance, which is well worth a visit if you're coming to Cornwall in September. It's a field full of these. You'll see where I get my inspiration from if you visit there. So yeah, it's definitely that's definitely one of my favorites, that one. So I've cleared all the ornaments off my off our shelves to set up my temporary stand. So right, I'll just go through some of my. I've got a selection of greeting cards here that I sell these on my Etsy shop. I don't know if you can see. So there's like a sunflower. So they're all these are all my designs, and they've all sort of double-sided in a way. And let me just see. This is a euphorbia one, which I've got growing out the front. And let's see. Just trying to work out where the angle of the. There we go. Done. By 3 hours, I'm going to be a brilliant presenter. Yeah, so these are on my Etsy shop. So this is more of a wintry one, which is quite nice. Pretty Willow and Hazel Catkins. There we go. And what else have I got? That's Stargazer Lily. Goes on the back as well. I also do a lily lampshade, which is white. But if anybody wanted a pink lily, then just get in touch, because I'm happy to oblige. This is inspired by the World Bellyboard Championships, which took place at Chapel Porce. And it was run by the National Trust. And I've named them after my grandparents, Arthur and Olive, these illustrations, because it was inspired, that design was inspired by the Bellyboard Championships, but also by the seeing a photo of my grandparents in their woolen swimwear. It must have been the sort of early 40s, and they had my granny had a swim hat in her hand, and they both had their sort of knitted swimming costumes on, and that image, and seeing the people at the Bellyboard Championships when they're wearing their sort of vintage swimwear, and they all go into the water with wooden boards, and no wetsuits were allowed. And it was an amazing event. My brother makes wooden boards, and he was a sponsor for the original Bellyboard Championships. So I used to go down and support him, and then that sort of gave me the idea about doing the illustrations. And the last year that they had the Bellyboard Championships, I had a little stall with him, and I had lots of fine bone china mugs that I had printed with my designs, and prints and greeting cards and badges for the kids, and it was such a fantastic event, and I really missed that sort of authentic, not really very commercial, lots of families having fun, and you know, sort of age non, you know, any age could go in. You know, you don't have to be young to enjoy the sea, and that's what I loved about it so much. So anyway, that's the Bellybore Championships. Right, just trying to angle it there, you can see, right. So then this is Verbena Bonariensis, again a greeting card, shit, upside down. I sell them in packs of 6 as well on my Etsy shop. And they're really popular. This one is inspired by those wonderful people that go wild swimming in the middle of winter. Just in such admiration of them. And yeah, I'm very much a warm water swimmer, so I'm waiting for the water to warm up a little bit. But it's inspired by those wonderful women, but also Daniel Craig's swimming trunks. People remember that? Yeah. Yeah, so his little swimming trunks, which were very fetching. Yeah, so again, another vintage surf one. Yeah, so some cards that are Cornish related. This is Stargazy Pie, which is, people buy this as a Christmas card, like a Cornish Christmas card, because if you've been to Cornwall at Christmas, then you've probably been down to Mousehole to see the Christmas lights, and the story of Tom Bowden and the Mousehole cat, and eating Stargazy Pie. So that's what that's inspired by. And then there's, again, the sort of vintage surf, swim, you know, rubber flowery hats and stripy swimming costumes, which was one of my inspirations. And this is Passiflora, which I've got just about coming out in my garden at the moment. That was inspired by when we lived in Newquay, we used to walk along the Gunnel, and there was a wild vine just crawling through the hedgerow. It was incredible, and even in November it was in full flower. So I made a Christmas wreath one year by picking strands of it from the hedgerow. Oops. And yeah, so that is inspired by that. And then that is Bird of Paradise, which is a really popular design. And I have to thank Debbie and St. Ives for that, because she got in touch and said, oh, could you do me a design that was tropical, that sort of had oranges and purples in? And I knew straight away what she meant. And then being such a popular design, and so thank you, Debbie from St. Ives. And at Christmas, I made a couple of velvet throws with this design, like sort of really big, if you can imagine that, but as a big live scale, 2 meters in height, as a velvet throw. And oh yeah, it was lovely. I'd love to have one for myself, but I have a hairy dog, so that's not really going to work. This is another Agapanthus, which is coming out everywhere. They're just sort of bursting out, like out of their pods at the moment, aren't they? Especially down here in Cornwall. And I love that. We were supposed to be going to the Isles of Scilly for a holiday this year, but we're staying put now. So we'll just enjoy the Agapanthus here. And again, yeah, so there's I've got lots of different floral designs. And But yeah, have a look on my Etsy shop. Those are greeting cards, and I can't remember how much they are on there, but I expect you'll find that. And you can buy them in packs of 6. So the other thing I wanted to show you was some of the fabrics that I'm just about to make into lampshades. So I'm just going to move things around a little bit. That's a Passiflora in a 30 centimetre shade. You see that, folks? No. The colour is, it's quite difficult to get the, if you have a look on my website, I did have some really nice photographs taken in March by a photographer called Anya Rice, who is based around Falmouth, and we took it in a B&B, and she did such a good job. So I have got like proper photos. Oh, I might just show you my... The other thing that I sell on my Etsy shop is prints. So there's a puffin, fennel and sparrow, and I can't remember her floral tea. I can't remember what I called that. That one's called a hoy. That's sort of when I lived in Newquay, one of our favourite walks was down to the harbour and to go to the Fish Festival, which happened in September. This is called Augusta, which is my grandmother's name. So it's like in tribute to my grandmother. Trying to find the best. There we go. So all of these. This is Arthur and Olive, which these are really popular as wedding presents. And I've also got Tom and Arthur and George, I think I've called them. I've got sort of 2 men, and I've also got 2 women as well. But they make really great wedding presents for people that are interested in, who love surfing, belly boarding, and I can sort of customize them as well. So I can write a special message, especially if it's for like a wedding gift. Then that's quite a nice thing. That's just a heart. I don't think that's on my Etsy shop, so I'll just pop that out the way. Fennel and sparrow. This is one of my oldest designs that I screen printed back in 2013, I think. So really before I started my business, but I was just sort of exploring, doing sort of creative things, and signed up to some screen printing workshops. And so that was like one of the first things I did. And it was inspired by, in my old house, I used to have a massive fennel bush, and the sparrows had a crowd, or whatever you call a collection of sparrows, living in the ivy that was climbing up my house. And they used to perch on the fennel bush and pick off the aphids. And then later on, when the seeds sort of started to ripen, they would be eating the seeds. But I love fennel. I use it a lot in cooking, and I just love the smell. And my favourite herbal tea is fennel. And also, it's available as a mug. I think it's still available as a mug with on China website. It was my favorite mug, which I broke, so I don't have it anymore. But yeah, so I did sell a lot of these. This was my best design. And I've also turned it into a lampshade as well. Yeah, so it's also available as a lampshade. I keep showing you the seam. There we go. And I can make these into cushions as well, if you wanted matching cushions. So don't forget that I've got a discount on my Etsy shop this weekend for lampshades. So yeah, the link is in. If you have a look in the chat thing, that you'll be able to see where that is. So there. This is called Catch of the Day. Again, this is one of my earliest designs. It started off as a screen print. And this was inspired by a fishing trip with my family for my mum's 70th birthday. So we all went from Newquay Harbour, and we went on the boat called K Sarah with Captain Trebilcock, and we caught loads of different fish, and we had all my nephews and my son, and my daughter was probably being a grumpy teenager and didn't want to come along. I can't remember why she didn't come. But yeah, so we had a wonderful day. We caught loads of different fish, and then we went home and barbecued them in the garden afterwards and did a sort of taste tester. So that I've also turned that into a lampshade. And I've just sold lots of these to a shop in the Isle of Wight in Cowes. Emma, who owns the shop called Jolie, she placed a wholesale order for these. So there's lots of different, there's the 20 centimetre, 30 centimetre and 40 centimetre that these are available as. So yeah, I like it. And I've got the sort of seaweed. I don't know if you can see the background very well. The light is not fantastic, is it? So yeah, that's Catch of the Day, or sea fishes. Sea fishes. Yeah, so I put it into a heart with a fishing net around it, because it was sort of like Catch of the Day, sort of heart, you know, lovely family experience. That, you know, those sort of family experiences are very special and very poignant, aren't they? Especially at a time now when you can't see necessarily your family around. So, yeah, that was a very special day that we'll remember. That's Hellebore. So, again, another one of my favourite ones that I like. And I can change the background. So, I'll show you some of the lampshades. Where are they? So I've got, this is a Hellebore on a stone. Is it taupe? Is that a colour? Yes. So that's like on a stone background. But then also I have done it as a teal, and then somewhere, I can't see it, oh there, it's available on a sort of dark grey, which I really like. That is Goldfish. If you walk along down in Hale, I don't know if people know that King George's Jubilee Walkway, which is a really lovely sort of little strip of botanical gardens, and they have lots of fishes, ponds with lots of different fish tucked away in there. When Peter finishes our garden, he wants to have a little fish pond, so that's sort of, and then, yeah, there we go. They've all got little googly eyes. I quite like that. That's on my Etsy shop. And this is my interpretation of a mermaid. So my mermaid is like, she's very mid-century, a bit like me, and quite independent, quite strong. She's not going to be hanging out on a rock waiting for any man to come along. She'll go out and sort herself out, thanks very much. Fierce, she is. This is called You Say Lido, I Say Lido. and that is, again, that's all my designs quite old. I need to spend some time doing some more designs, but this has been going for a while, and it's like two ladies chatting in the shallow end while letting others do the acrobatics. And so you've got, like, I think the acrobatic person has got toenails painted. I can't get that. Yeah. So this is St. Piran's Pebbles. I'm just trying to work out which is the right way up. So that my prints are available in 2 different sizes. So this is A3, and that is inspired by the pebbles that you can find on Fistral Beach. They sort of have quartz crosses, veins through them, and I always looked at for ones with when the veins crossed each other, because I thought that looked like St. Piran's flag, which is the Cornish. St. Piran is one of the Cornish saints, and has a black and white flag, which Cornish people are very proud of. And so this is St. Piran's Pebbles. And this last one. So I've got lots of different prints on my Etsy shop, but I haven't printed them all off. So I just print normally on demand, and I sign each one of them. And this is called Pussy Willow and Hazel Catkins. So that looks really nice. If you have like a grey and yellow decor, that's a really attractive print to have on your wall. So yeah, that's my prints. And let me think, what else are I going to show you now? Some of the other designs that I've had printed up, but I've still got to make them. So if I just show you what the best way to do is. So that is a big, let me put them on there. I'll lay them out. Thank you for bearing with me. So this is, so these are the big sizes lampshades. So I get them printed into strips, which I get them printed, I lay them out on a meter of fabric, and then I get them printed up, and then I chop them up. So that is a 40 centimeter vintage surf. So you can see like all the detail. I'm just going to move, I'll give you the story. So it's got, you know, as you wander around the lampshade, it's got a little story going on all the way around. And that was the same, like if you have a smaller size, then that design is scaled down to fit that smaller size. So you don't sort of get cropped off ladies' heads and that sort of thing. So I designed them all specifically to fit the particular shade. So there we go, that's vintage surf. That's 40 centimeters. So you see that they've got, let me just show you. And then we've got the little fish as well, which I really like. Fish jumping out the water. So yeah, that's a really popular, that still remains a popular design. And especially with people who love surfing and swimming and the sea. So, you know, that doesn't have to be a Cornwall specific design, because people enjoy bellyboarding and surfing and swimming and the sea all over the world. So that has, that design in print has gone all over the world. This is Daffodils. So I haven't printed, I was going to I've been so busy organising this, putting all together this event, that I haven't managed to make all the shades that I was hoping, and cushions, etc., that I was hoping to have made. But it's been quite hard work putting this event together. But hopefully it will be, it'll have paid off all the hard work. This is daffodils. So this, I think this is a 30 centimetre. And then again, the 20 centimetre is all scaled. So like when it's printed, when it's made into a shade, you get sort of like the white background at the bottom, and then it sort of looks like that. And it's, it's really nice. When I did the Etsy Made Local in Penryn, a lady came up to me and asked me if I could do a daffodil design, but with a pink background, and for her mum as a special present, because they had a sort of family, tragedy. And this daffodils reminded her specifically of, it was like a good memory flower. So she asked me to make up a daffodil lampshade for her mum, and I really liked it, but I changed background into blue because to sell on my Etsy shop, because I thought that was something that people would be, blue and yellow is a bit more, those are quite Cornish colours really. So yeah, that's my daffodil. So I'm just going to put what I've shown you on here on my. So I've got my computer set up on loads of books on my dining table. So this is the 20 centimetre cockles. So you can see that I scale the design to fit the shade template. So if that makes sense. So those cockles are smaller than the 30 centimetres. And again, the 40 centimetre will be bigger as well. And then also, where did I put my cushion? I've also got dog cockles cushion as well. So you can have matchy if you wanted to. So that's the dog cockles. And then the Emma from the Isle of Wight, who runs a shop called Jolie, she is in Cowes, and she ordered the dog cockles in a dark blue background for her shop. Which is really nice. They come out really nicely. So she ordered 20 centimetres, 30 centimetres and 40 centimetres for her shop. So I've got some fabric printed. I was going to make those up into shades as well to sell. They're on my, I think they're on my Etsy shop. Well, the cockles one with the dark blue is, so if you wanted, not the dark blue, the teal. So if you wanted dark blue, all you need to do is tell me in the comments, when you place the order. So this is a 30 centimetre lily of the valley. So you can see that it matches my dress. But also that it's sort of, the design carries across. So I scale it to fit the template of the lampshade. So if you, so for example, there it is on the 20 centimetres. So you can see that it's bigger. Yeah. Sorry, the light is not fantastic here in my dark sitting room. And I've also got, so these are ready, like normally the orders take about 2 weeks because I allow that for the fabric to be printed, but the fabric I've already got. So if you, want anything that I've already got printed, then, some people will get it quite quickly. So again, that's the Vintage Surf. And then this was also a request. So a few years ago, I made some silk scarves, and this was the design on the silk scarf. And it was I really like that sort of olivey with citrusy colour. I think it looks very stunning. And then there's the branches are like a sort of dark grey olive. And somebody contacted me and asked me if I can make that into a lampshade. And I thought that looked really nice. So I have I made it and then got some more printed and put it on my Etsy shop. As I said, most of my customers have my best ideas. This is the 20 centimetre Dahlia again. So you can see the design inspired by the National Dahlia collection, because they have so many gorgeous different varieties of Dahlia. It's an incredible place. And then more daffodils. Oh, I got lots of daffodils. I didn't realise that. Yeah, so if you want daffodils, then you'll be in luck having it quite quickly. Normally it takes me 2 weeks from an order being placed to getting, there's a 20 centimetre vintage surf. So it's a bit smaller. I've scaled it. I haven't fit everything in, so I haven't got the lady with the sun hat and the other surfer. Just to sort of scale it, you know, each design, each template has a different layout. This is Ginkgo Biloba. So I've got one made up somewhere. Let me just see if I can find it. So that is, yeah, that's Ginkgo Biloba. So that is inspired by Ennis Gardens. There we go. You see that? At Ennis Gardens, they have an enormous Ginkgo Biloba tree, they are ancient trees, and they have, the leaves are supposed to have special properties. When I lived in London from 85 until 99. So when we moved back down to Cornwall when the kids were little. And but when I first started working in London, I worked for a pharmaceutical company that was a French pharmaceutical company, because I was a French bilingual secretary. Can't believe that now, but yeah. So one of the drugs that they were working with was based on the extract of Ginkgo Biloba leaf, and it was sort of mid-80s, and it was that's got quite a special sort of meaning for me, that Ginkgo Biloba leaf. And right, how are we getting on? We're doing all right. I can't tell if anybody's watching or not, so I'm just carrying on speaking as if they are. I don't know how long we'll be able to last for. So this is Agapanthus. Let me turn away from the light. That might be better. Yeah, so that's a 20 centimetre Agapanthus. So last week I did the Virtually There fair, and someone won one of these 20 centimetre lampshades. And so hopefully she liked it. I think she got lots of prizes, so that's quite nice. 30 centimetre dog cockle. So this design is inspired by the Walking on Fistral Beach with Rufus. And if you walk along the Strand line, you see all these little half shells of, and I looked at what they're called. They're called dog cockles, and so they're sort of orange, like tessellated shells, and then sort of stripy blue shells, and they're really attractive, and so I was that was the inspiration behind that design. And then a really big daffodil one. So that's 40 centimetre daffodils. So you can see the designs, I do them sort of to fit the template of the lampshade. So that's what that is. I might just have a sip of water. I'm doing right. Might just check if anybody's watching as well. So, and if anyone wants to ask me anything, just chat, ask me in the chat, and I'll see if I can see you. Just going to put these here for now, and then I'm going to have a look and see if anyone can see me in the chat. So some people had done some pre-recorded videos which looked amazing, and some, like me, are doing live streaming, and so I'm going to be live streaming till about 2 o'clock, and then I will have a break, and then I'll be live streaming again tomorrow between 11 and 2, and by which time I hope I will improve my sales patter. Because it's quite hard. All right, I'm just going to have a look and see if anyone is actually chatting. Oh yes, I can see. Hello, Sarah. Oh, thank you. Oh, hello, Ethan. Thank you. Serena, thank you. Sally Atkins. Oh, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Caroline. I wish I had my. Oh, thank you so much. It's difficult to see. Like if you are, if you're talking, maybe I need to keep up the chat instead of looking at me. Thanks, guys. So I don't know how everybody else is doing. I don't know if this is going to be the best thing to do. I think what I might do is go live again on the YouTube, because when I started it, I was sort of practicing and then realized that if this is going to be live streaming throughout the weekend, there's me like sort of staring at the keyboard and the screen, and then the dog's scratching. So I might carry on doing a live stream. I don't know if I can edit the YouTube video, but yeah, it's hard work. So I think also the other thing is, if anybody is thinking about doing this thing, I know Caroline has booked in to do her event, and it's quite good to, I think, have a pre-recorded video. I didn't have time because I was busy staring at spreadsheets full of makers' timetables. But I think in the future, I think it would be quite good to do a pre-recorded video, because it's always a bit messy at the beginning, isn't it? So I've got about 10 minutes of me messing around at the beginning of this video. So what I'm going to do is loop around again and then tell everybody all about my products again. If anybody wants to order anything, I've got a discount code called Made Cornwall, and you can enter that into the checkout if you're buying a lampshade this weekend. This event is taking place all weekend until midnight on Sunday. So you can, some of the makers are going to be live streaming through different parts of the day and the weekend, and some have got pre-recorded video, which I'm regretting not having done, but it'll be fine. So I'm just going to talk again, just go through the product. So if you've already heard it, bear with me, or have a look at the other makers. There. Oh, hold on. Hello. Hi. All right. No. Okay, all right. I'm just live at the minute, so I'm just on live streaming YouTube. They've got That's okay. Or they've all got like Etsy support or Hopin support, so they all know. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thanks, mate. Bye. Bye. Yeah. Bye. Yeah. So I might not keep this recording on my live streaming. I might just do a short video and then upload that later on. So I'm just going to start again. Thank you, everybody. If you are having a problem seeing, there's a little symbol that's got like a dash with either an upwards arrow or a downwards arrow on it, like a little triangular hat. So if you click on that, then you can either see the video live or you can go to the chat. So like if you are, if you're watching a video of a maker and you're only seeing like a small part of their screen, what you need to do is just maybe try clicking on that little icon that's a dash with a hat, and then you can see the chat or you can see the video. And if you click on the dash with a hat, you can then go to the details of that maker, and you can find out what discount they're offering for over the weekend. And also you can link to their Etsy shop, and you can also chat to them as well if you want to. So yeah, that's that's how it works. So hopefully it works. If anyone's got any questions, let me know. I'm going to move my chat back up. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Oh gosh, yeah. Thank you for your patience. So I'm going to start again. I think if I'm on for 3 hours, I think every hour I'm going to go through the same spiel, and hopefully people, I've put the chat up now. So if that's just any comments, then let me know. If you think I need to be doing something specific, then let me know, because we've all got support. Like if there is an issue with the platform, like every seller knows who they need to contact. So that's really good. So we're sharing earlier on. I was showing everybody some of the fabrics that I've had printed that I've not made up yet. Because I've got lots of designs and not everything is here. I think most of it is on my Etsy shop. I think my Etsy shop's quite populated. But if you have any queries, then also get in touch. I'd love to hear from you. I might show you. I'm going to go through each lampshade again. So if you've heard it all before, there's lots of sellers. Please go and have a look and support everybody. I'll just show you this lampshade that matches my outfit. I think this is the one that I could turn into a mask. I did make myself a mask out of the Dahlia fabric. And so I only go to the shop once a week, and I wore the Dahlia mask. We go 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, my partner and I take turns. He does 1 week and I do the other week. And then so I went and I had my lovely mask on with my Dahlia design that I've made. And there are a couple of people not wearing masks, and they were really keeping their distance from me, which is quite a good thing, really, because maybe that's the way to go, because then people think that you're trying to stop preventing a disease. So, they didn't like dahlias. I don't know. But yeah, so this is the Lily of the Valley design that sort of goes around. And all my lampshades are available in 3 different sizes, 3 different standard sizes. But if you've got a weird size, or like a US fitting, which I've done recently. I don't ship to the USA, but this lady had hi Faye, all right. This lady had a US lamp base and was looking for a fitting that specifically fitted US, and so I was able to help her out and made a really big agapanthus lampshade for her. And so yeah, this is Lily of the Valley. Lily of the Valley is the floral symbol of Helston Floridae, and which is really also sell this as a print on my Etsy shop. And I remember one year a lady ordered a print for her daughter as a gift, and it was her daughter had gone off to university, and it was the first time that she'd ever missed Helston Floridae. And so she wanted to send her something to make up for the fact that she was going to miss out. So yeah, it's a really nice, and I like these fresh colours, and I love that green. I was wondering what to wear today for the that would sort of match my outfits, and I luckily remembered I still had this dress in my wardrobe. I don't know if anyone else, I've sort of only been wearing, when you're only sort of social contact is via Zoom meetings. You don't need to necessarily make sure that your outfit is perfect, do you? So yeah, it was nice to sort of put on something fancy for a change. So yeah, so Lily of the Valley, which I can't remember where I put that. Let me shove it there. This is one of my oldest designs that has been, thank you very much, LP. So yeah, this started off as a screen print in 2013. I signed up for a screen printing workshop, and it designed fennel and sparrow, which was inspired. At the time I lived in an old stone cottage, and I had a big fennel bush outside the front door, and all the sparrows that were living in the ivy on which was running up the house used to go and perch on the fennel bush and pick off the aphids, and then when the seeds had ripened, then they would pick the seeds as well. So, and they were really noisy and grumpy. They're like thug sparrows. I don't know if you ever sort of, you walk past the bush and they're all like squawking at each other. And then when I walk Rufus in the morning, there's some in a bush down near the park. And as you get near, they will go quiet. And then as soon as you walk past again, then they start going, squawking and squabbling with each other. So yeah, that's in that design. Can you see it? That design is inspired by those sparrows and fennel, which I really love. I use it in cooking a lot, and it's my favorite herbal tea as well. And this was available as a mug, fine bone china mug. I had them when I was selling mugs. I had them made in, they're just outside Hale. They're called Chown, and they're a really lovely family. And they screen printed fine bone china mugs. They screen print them with glass inks, and they're beautiful mugs. But I just sort of, I don't know about anybody else, but I get bored of selling the same thing after a while, so I need to move on and try something. I'm always sort of, I like the designs that I do, but I want to try it on different things, and see what sells. So that's the fennel and sparrow. This is one of my favorites. This is Dahlia. And if you've been to the National Dahlia Collection, which is just outside Penzance, then you'll know exactly where I've got my inspiration from, because it's an incredible field full of, I think, every possible variety of dahlia that exists, and it's a beautiful place. It's really inspiring, and I really enjoy sort of going down there around September time when they're at their peak, really. And when our garden is finished, Peter's digging it all up at the moment, but when it's finished, I'm planning to get lots of different dahlia varieties in the garden, because I really love them. And yeah, so that is dahlia. And you can see that I scale my designs to fit so those flowers are smaller than those flowers, and again with the 40 centimeter, so that it sort of fits with the lampshades. Yeah, so that's so on my Etsy shop this weekend. So I should just do the sales pitch as well. On my Etsy shop this weekend, I've got £10 off lampshades. You just need to use the code made local when you go to the checkout, and you'll get £10 off the lampshades. And the link to my Etsy shop should be in the booth here. Just have a look around and explore and see if you can find the link. And yeah, so that's on this weekend until midnight on Sunday night. So I'm going to be live streaming again tomorrow morning until 2 again. And so yeah, we'll just see how that goes. So yeah, that's dahlia, which I like. And then a new, well, it's new to a lampshade, but it's an old design. I really like this. Can you see that? Yeah. So this is called Cyclamen. And this, I think it was, when was the last Cornwall Design Fair? Was that 2016? So I did a set of Christmas cards that were inspired by Mrs. Mary Delaney, who was an artist from the 18th century. She started her creative career at the age of 70, and she's a real sort of hero of mine. And her work was, she cut out tiny bits of paper and made botanical pictures, like pictures of flowers. And they're incredible. If you look on the British Museum website, then you can see them. That's Mrs. Mary Delaney, and she's incredible. She lived in Cornwall for a while as well. Her first husband was Cornish, and so when she was 70, she started creating these, and there are thousands of them, and they're all at the British Museum, and they all the flowers are on dark backgrounds. So my Christmas cards were sort of on dark backgrounds. So the cyclamen was on like a really dark background, and but I thought that it looked quite nice on this. I'm not quite sure what it is. Dark pink, dark mint, or pistachio. I was looking up green color names, and I think dark mint, well, I have called it pistachio, but yeah, so I thought that looks nice on a lampshade, and I think I'm going to get some printed up into cushions as well. I think that would look really nice. And I was thinking about making a mask. I'm going to make masks in all my fabrics so that I can wear every time I go to Tesco's. I can be wearing a different mask. Right, yeah, so that is Cyclamen. That's on my Etsy shop. And that is in different sizes. Where did that go? Where did I get that from? I've lost track now. Oh, it's up here, isn't it? Agapanthus. Let me just take that off and I just show you. So that's Agapanthus in the 30 centimetres. and that is agapanthus is coming out everywhere now, isn't it? It's gorgeous. It's such a lovely summer flower, and it lasts quite a long time. And Peter and I were due to go camping on the Scilly Isles this summer, but we've obviously not able to go now. But so yeah, I'm just looking at the agapanthus in the in the gardens and on my lampshades to make up for not seeing them on the beautiful Scilly Isles. And yeah, it's really lovely. Yep, and that's on a what would you call that? Eau de Nil, I think I call it, on my Etsy shop. Can you see that? Yeah, so Eau de Nil. I can also change the background colours of any of my designs. So if somebody likes a design but it doesn't match their colour scheme, then I can change the colours to fit. Sometimes people just send me a link to paint that they're painting their sitting room with, and then I'll sort of try and match the colour. So for example, so this is the Procosmia. So that's like in a bluey colour, quite a pale blue. And quite a few people have asked for special changes to this design, which I've accommodated. So some people wanted the flowers a bit more orangey and different colour, and then someone wanted, someone sent me a link to I think it was like Fired Earth website with a paint that they were going to be painting their sitting room. So I matched it. So that is like a what would you call that? Stone colour background, and the flowers are a bit more muted to match her decor, and I thought it was really nice. So I got some more fabric made up, and now sell that as one of my colour options. But again, if you've got a design that you like and you want to, I'm just seeing if anyone's watching. It all says like a few seconds ago. If anyone's watching, it would be great. Just give me a chat. Say hi. So that is, Procosmia in stone. And then also I put my, get cushions printed up. Make the cushions with, I get the fabric printed up to make the cushions. And again, I sort of design it so that the main motif is sort of central to the design. And that's dark blue, and that one is a teal colour. So they're slightly different colours. And they're available as lampshades. So I've got the lampshades over there with the two different colourways and cushions. And you can have them with a feather pad or with a hypoallergenic pad, depending on your preference. So I'm just going to try and put... My dog was really annoyed that I've turned his sofa into a stage for my stall. This is the Flamboyant Flower. I grew up in the Pacific in a group of islands called, it's now called Vanuatu. And one of my jobs as a kid was to go and water the orchids. My parents collected orchids, and they built an orchid house to put their collection around a big tree that was in our garden. And it was a flamboyant tree. And so that design inspires me reminds me of growing up, and it matches my dress. Yeah, so a friend of mine wants one of these, so as soon as I get round to see her, I'm going to take her one of these as a little present. And so this is Passiflora. I've got one of these growing in the garden. It's just about to come into flower, which is a bit late, I think. So they had, this design was inspired when we lived in Newquay. I used to walk Rufus down on the Gannel, and there's a pathway that runs along the Gannel River, and in the hedgerow there's an enormous Passiflora vine just growing wild, and the climate is so warm down here that even in November it was in full flower in the hedgerow. I even made a Christmas wreath from December. So I made a Christmas wreath from the flowers I took from the hedgerow. I'm sure you're not allowed to do that, but it's not a native species, so I don't think I'd get into too much trouble admitting that. Yeah, so that's Passiflora. And that's also available as a greeting card and a print as well. And a cushion, if you want a cushion, just let me know if you want, anything specific. If you don't see anything that I've got, this is called Sea Fishes, and that's also available as a print, which I will find for you. There we go. So that originally started off as a screen print, and it was inspired by a fishing boat trip that my family went on for my mum's 70th birthday. And it was from Newquay Harbour, and it was a boat called Case Sarah. And it was Captain Trebilcock who took us out for the day, and it was wonderful. We caught so many different fish, and my nephews were there and my son was there, and it was really quite a special family thing that we all remember. And then we took all the fish home and had a barbecue in the afternoon in the garden, and did a taste test. I mean, we didn't have many. We had lots of different varieties, but I think the favourite was the gurnard. I think that came out on top as the tastiest fish. So yeah, that is fish and print. And it's called Catch of the Day. I think that's called Sea Fishes. I think I've just called it Sea Fish. And that's called Catch of the Day. And I put it into a heart, and it's sort of got fishing net around it, as in, capture your heart, family events, special meaning days out. And also like a Valentine thing for a fisherman, because they can be your catch of the day. I'm just rambling now. So that's available in all different sizes, and I've got a discount on my Etsy shop this weekend for special for lampshades. So you get £10 off at the checkout if you put in the discount code Made Local. So yeah, available as a print and lampshades, and also I think you might make some of these into cushions, because I think they'd look quite nice for like coastal homes, like seaside inspired home decor. I think that would look nice. Right, what haven't I covered? Oh, I know, there's another one I haven't done. Oh, the other thing I was going to mention, on my Etsy shop, you might see these bamboo knitting needles. So during lockdown, I've sold quite a few of these. So they're all like wrapped up really nicely. I sort of wrap them up in blue tissue, and people have been sending these to their friends in lockdown as sort of like a, learning a new hobby. They've been really popular. But what's really nice about them is that because they're made of bamboo, they're really warm to touch. And lots of people who suffer from poor circulation in their hands or Raynaud's disease have found that they can start knitting because the metal knitting needles have hurt their hands. But I've had quite a few messages from people saying, oh, I love them so much. I bought them for my friend who also suffers. So yeah, that's a random thing I'm selling on my Etsy shop. Long story behind it, but yeah, they've been really popular. So yeah, have a look on my Etsy shop if you want bamboo knitting needles. So this is Verbena bonariensis, which I've got in my garden, and I see in the park, in my local park, they've spent a lot of time over the winter changing the park. They planted lots of wildflower sections, and they planted sort of like some nice coastal inspired beds, and they're now putting in exercise equipment, which obviously I'm not going to be using, but I enjoy the flowers anyway. So yeah, Verbena bonariensis, that's in flower now, and so that's a cushion that's on my Etsy shop, and it's got a little detail of a little label on it, and yeah, have a look. And that is also available as a greeting card and as lampshades, and I think it's still available as a print. What used to be available as a print, I'm not sure now. I need to check that. So yeah, so this is a 30 centimeter lampshade with Verbena bonariensis on, and I can change the color of the background. I can change the color of the flowers to match your decor if it's something that you want. And then, so that is also, that's available in 3 different sizes. So that's the 20 centimeter diameter, and that's the 30 centimeter diameter. And also, if you do buy a lampshade on my Etsy shop, it will ask you whether you want it to be a pendant, which is hanging from the ceiling, or a lamp fitting, because that's quite important, because you don't want to. I made a mistake recently. I thought somebody wanted a pendant, and then when she received it, she sent me a photo saying she put it on her lampshade, and it wasn't working. So yeah, it's quite on my Etsy shop. You'll find it's really clear. It will say whether you want to have a pendant or a lamp fitting. And I've got £10 off my Etsy shop at the moment for lampshades, and that's just for this weekend. And you get £10 off. So, like, for example, this on my Etsy shop is it £55? Anyway, you get £10 off. And just have a look. You'll probably be able to tell me what the prices are, because I can't remember what I've said. There we go. And yeah, so it's also available as a cushion. Oof. I'm going to show you. Oh, that is. I'll put that there. I've also got this sunflower design, which is available as a greeting card. I'll find it in a minute. So if you have a look, it's very detailed. Don't know if you can see that. Look in the middle. So yeah, that is a very cheery colour. I've got one of these by my bedside to, when I wake up in the morning, I feel cheery. Like sunflowers, they're great because they follow the, you know, when they're in the field in flower, their heads like follow the sun across the, you know, as the sun travels across the sky during the day. So they're always like, keep your chin up, you know, like very jolly flower, really, that's very positive, bright yellow, keep your chin up, keep, you know, keep jolly. And so that's what I have, that one of that by my bedside, so that when I wake up in the morning, I'm feeling, yay, ready to go. Don't always feel like that, but mostly. I've also got, I'm about to knock over everything. That is Michelle from Smarty Lids on the Beach. She's one of my fellow neighbouring stallholders at the market, which takes place in Crantock. She asked me if I could do a horse for her daughter. And yeah, so that's my interpretation of a horse. And she really liked it. A horse with trees. So yeah, there's like a faded tree. I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, if that's on my Etsy shop. And which is quite nice. I like that bright yellow. So it's a bit different from, this is a more muted yellow, the one that the fennel and sparrow is. But I can change. The other thing is, if you don't want yellow, then, and you want a different colour, you want to me to match something that in your home decor, then get in touch, because I can change the colours of anything. So if you don't want yellow, you can have blue or any colour. This is on my Etsy shop. I'll just get, so one of my designs on one of my old designs is Cornish Sea Birds, which are in the shape of St. Piran's flag. That's available as a print and as a greeting card. And a couple of years ago, somebody asked me to do a puffin. So I used the puffin from my Cornish Sea Birds illustration. And I thought it looked like really cute as a lampshade as well. So that's a puffin, that's on my Etsy shop. That's nice in a kid's bedroom, I think. So if anyone lets know. And then I've got Hellebore. These are available in different designs, different colourways. Let me just move that. So we've got, someone contacted me and asked me to change their, they wanted a Hellebore, but they wanted it in a different colourway. So they sent me a link to the paint that they were going to paint their sitting room with. And so I matched the background. So that's the usual colour. And also, it is also available as a teal as well. So Hellebore, that was another one of the designs from the Mary Delaney Christmas card collection that I did, was the winter rose Hellebore, because that's another sort of Christmassy flower. I try to do Christmassy flowers that you don't, you know, that I'm not a very Christmassy person. I'm not very sort of snowmen and all that stuff. But there are flowers that are not usually, you know, that people usually give to others at Christmas, but you don't often see them on a design. So the winter rose is one, you know, I put these hellebores, they come out into flower just before Christmas. So I put them on my Christmas table as a decoration. So they, yeah, so that's hellebore, and then in different backgrounds. So there is also a teal background. that you can have. These are 30 centimetre sizes, but they're available in 40 centimetres and 20 centimetres as well. So, yep, that's the Hellebore. I'm just going to put things, moving things around, trying them out. I'm just going to have a sip of water. If anyone's got any questions or want to ask me anything, please do. One hour, 40 minutes I've been talking. And just chat, you can chat with me if you want to say hello. I'm going to show you my greeting cards now. Put them, I was trying to find something to put them in, so I thought this little vase was quite a nice little way to demo my greeting cards. So normally at an event, I've got like a Twizzler, card Twizzler. So I, people can pick a selection of cards. I sell them on my Etsy shop individually, but also you can buy them as a set of 6. And I also can gift wrap them. So if you want to send them to somebody as a little prezi, which I just posted off some yesterday that went off to the States as a little present. Shh, don't tell. Don't tell. But yeah, I can do, and I wrote a little gift message and wrapped up in a nice blue tissue that I use. It's like a baby blue tissue, and some pretty ribbon that I found. And yeah, so anyway, these are my greeting cards. I've got loads of different designs. So I'm just going to run through them. So they're sort of like the designs go across from front to back. And I have a matching sort of coloured envelope, which I think looks really nice. I used to sell them with white envelopes, but the colour sort of, the colours really pop when you've got, it's just like a nice little detail, I think, to have a coloured envelope. So we've got, that's Agapanthus. I'm just going to run through. I've got a Rudbeckia, which they're coming out into flower in the park, our local park, with a nice yellow envelope. And there's the Procosmia, which is also available as lampshades and a print. I think I've still got a print on there. Get in touch if there's anything that I haven't got on my Etsy shop that you do want, because I can sort of, mostly I work to order. So yeah, just let me know. Bird of Paradise. Last year I made, like last winter, I made 2 velvet throws that with this design on. So if you can imagine like a velvet throw that's like 2 meters in length and 1 meter across with that design on. I think I put another flower down here. It was really stunning, and I had an exhibition at Circa 21 with Julia Crimmen and Paper Pamela, which is called Nature of Paper. And Esme let us use the gallery upstairs in her beautiful shop. And I had my velvet throw there. I just thought, and Esme was selling really dark blue velvet chairs. So I draped my velvet throw over one of her dark blue chairs. And it sold. And then I had quite a few people like inquiring about it after that sold. So I will get some more made up. I have had some Hellebore printed onto velvet and also Agapanthus printed onto velvet. But I was thinking that it's not very velvet throw sort of weather. So I'll probably bring that out at the end of the year. I'll do another put them onto my Etsy shop because they were really nice. I'm just going to take my shoes off. There we go. All right. Okay. So we've got Passiflora. I made a really big shade, a couple of big shades in this design, and it looks really stunning. It looks really nice. One of them is the lovely Caroline Gorgeous Yarns, and she sent me a photo of her shade in its new home. It looks so nice. I love it when people send me photos of where their lampshades end up, because you sort of, you can't. We've got quite specific style here in this household, so it's really nice to see their shades in different settings, like with different maybe a bit more contemporary styles, and they look really nice. They fit in, so it's quite nice. That's a sunflower, and I've written on the back, sunflowers follow the sun's path across the sky, keep your chin up. So that's like a really nice card if you wanted to send to anybody who's feeling a bit low, because sunflowers are such positive flowers, aren't they? They keep the sun up, keep their chin up, and they follow the sun's path. So this one is called Olive Augusta. It's named after my grandmother, and it's like a florally vintage swim hat. And it's inspired by the bellyboard championships, and also a photo that I had of my grandmother and grandfather wearing their woolen swimsuits, and she's got a sort of flowery hat in her hand. So that was sort of my inspiration for that. And that's called Stargazy Pie. So people normally give this as Christmas card, Cornish Christmas card. So Stargazy Pie is a traditional, I'm just reading on the back what I put here, it's a traditional Cornish fish pie served around Christmas time to celebrate Tom Borcock's Eve. Apparently the fisherman Tom Borcock saved Mousehole village from starvation by setting out during a winter storm and came back with a fine fat catch of fish. Traditionally, Stargazy pie is made with pilchards, with their heads poking out of the pastry, pointing skywards towards the stars. So there we go. That's what's written on the back. So yeah, that's a popular Christmas card. That is called Arthur Roy, which was named after my grandfather. So my grandparents grew up in I've got it written on the back here. My grandparents grew up in Perranporth, and my grandmother's family made the first wooden surfboards after the First World War in Perranporth. And my great uncle, who's also called Arthur, was a very keen surfer. And I remember when I was at boarding school in Truro, I used to go and stay with my granny in Perranporth during the half-term holidays. And I saw my great uncle once walking down through Perranporth with his little swimming trunks on and heading off to the surf. And my mum's still very much in close touch with his son, and he's called John, and he said that his dad made himself like a wooden Malibu board out of oak, and it was so heavy that he needed to make a wooden a trolley so that he could wheel it down to Perranporth Beach. And and also, I mean, this is like early days, and he to stop himself from sliding off the wooden board, he glued sand onto it. So nowadays people have surf wax, but he was very much a sort of inventor, and very tried out different stuff. So before the day of surf wax, he glued sand onto it. It must have been really rough. He wouldn't have had a wetsuit on either. So, yeah. So this is called Wild Swimmers. So this is inspired by vintage swimwear, swimming in the sea, swim hats, and living close to the coast in Cornwall, and Daniel Craig's swim trunks. There's his swim trunks on the back. So, yeah, all of my greeting cards are available on my Etsy shop. And if you click on the link, you'll be able to find them. There we go. And that's Verbena bonariensis, also available as a lampshade and cushion. And that is called Arthur and Olive, after my grandparents. And this illustration was inspired by seeing a photo of them wearing their woolen swim hats, woolen swim costumes and rubber swim hats. That is called Stargazer Lily. And I've also got a lampshade with a lily pattern on it, but it's with white. But if anybody wanted a pink one, then I've picked the wrong shirt, haven't I? I've got a hole in my shirt. God, what a state. Yeah, that is, you wouldn't get that on QVC, would you? Oh dear. That is Pussy Willow and Hazel Catkins. The designs on the back. I think I need to do some new designs because these are like 2005. These are like 5 years old. But I still like them and they still sell. So, you know, they're working all right. That is Euphorbia. Got some out of my front door at the moment. And that's the sunflower again. That back to the beginning. And I've also got a mermaid greeting card. So my mermaid, this is my interpretation of a mermaid. She is a celebration of strong, independent women. My interpretation of what mermaids represent: glamorous, in control, and fierce. You know, my mermaid would not be hanging around on a rock waiting for a man to come along. No way. So there we go. And then Dahlia. And then that's also available as a lampshade as well. So that is, I've written here, it's got on the back as well, you see. So the National Dahlia collection is based in Penzance, Cornwall, and has fields of a stunning collection of blooms of a variety of colours and shapes. Yeah. So my inspiration I've got on the back here, I have to read it because I have to remember I am inspired by stuff. So from historic gardens surrounding stately homes, Victorian palm houses and resurrected lost gardens, to the 1970s Barbican Conservatory and my local municipal gardens in Newquay, I find pleasure and inspiration in every plant and their glorious blooms. There we go. And then we're back to the beginning again, I think. Okay, that's the Bird of Paradise, which is available as cushions, a print on my Etsy shop, and lampshades and greeting cards. And a velvet throne later on in the year. That says, that's called You Say Lido, I Say Lido. I say Lido. You say Lido, I say Lido. How do you pronounce Lido? Some say it rhymes with Fido. Others prefer to hang out at the Lido. Inspired by 1930s outdoor Lidos and retro bathing suits, My two lovely ladies, Olive and Dotty, prefer to stand around the shallow end chatting, while others perform their aquatic gymnastics. There we go. And there's a little fish on the back. So going back to Euphorbia, I think we've done that. We've got the Procosmia. That's available as a greeting card, a print, a lampshade, and cushions. And on the back of it, I put armies of crimson spikes and sword-shaped leaves cascade down the cliff tops of Devon and Cornwall. Cool, eh? I'm a poet and I didn't know it. So yeah, Euphorbia. Oh, I've done. Anyway, on my Etsy shop, I've got lots of different designs of greeting cards, and I sell them in packs of 6 as well. So if you want to go and have a look on there, yeah, and this is Winter Rose Hellebore. So on here I've written, Hellebore flowers are a winter bloom, hiding their beautiful flower heads, which bow down towards the ground. I don't know if you grow hellebores or if you've seen them. They do that, don't they? They hide their beauty, and you sort of have to lift up their heads to have a look at their detail of their flowers. So on this year, I managed to get to the Hellebore Appreciation Day, which is at Bosbago Gardens, and I bumped in, I think, did I see Emily Brown? I think so. But I did see Pam there, and who also makes beautiful Hellebore paper flowers. So if you have a look at the nature of paper, have a look at her Etsy shop. She does some really beautiful stuff. And anyway, so this is available as a cushion. I haven't made up the cushions yet, but that can be available as a cushion. I have had printed a velvet throw, which is really lovely, but I haven't made it up yet. I printed the velvet, and I'll probably put that on my Etsy shop like nearer the end of the year, like in time for Christmas, because I think it would make a gorgeous Christmas present for someone who doesn't have a hairy dog like me. I'd love to have one, but I got a hairy dog. He's not allowed in anywhere near any of my products. So yeah, that is Hellebore. So that is available as lampshades. There we go. And cushions and prints on my website. So that's my selection of greeting cards, which I'll probably go through again before I'm up. I've got another hour to talk. So I've done quite well, I think, from messing it up at the beginning. But I will work on it. I'm just going to get my water. Yeah, so if anyone wants to ask me any questions, then they can join me on the chat here and have a look. I'm not a professional presenter, as you can probably tell. I think I'm messed up my live video, which was supposed to be streaming throughout the weekend. So I think I'm going to have to do another like quick one, which I can loop afterwards, that I can add on to here, because I spent the first 10 minutes, I think, of this video like staring at the screen, trying to work out how it works, trying to make sure that everything is in view. So yeah, but it's quite weird. It's quite weird having a one-way conversation, when normally we'd be selling, you know, at events like at the Etsy Made Local, the one in Penryn in particular. It was amazing. It's so lovely to actually meet your customers and talk to them and sharing those stories, because a lot of the stories that I'm telling, I really like hearing those stories back from my customers as well. So, for example, a few years ago, I had a stall at the Cornwall Design Fair, the last time that they ran, and I had this elderly couple came up and bought this print, which is called Arthur and Olive. And they were in their 70s, and they came in and they said, we have to buy that print. We've been belly boarding with wooden boards for 60 years together, and we're off again now to go belly boarding after we've come to see you and buy this print from you. And it's those stories, you know, that your customers tell you about what, you know, because my designs mean something to me, but it's really lovely when they also, you know, when people tell me what it means to them as well, that's our connection that we have in common, is that, you know, we've got something that, you know, we feel passionate about, that we love, that we can share through buying my print, which is, you know, I don't know, I get quite emotional about it, but it's lovely. Like when people, you know, oh, that's my favorite flower as well, or, you know, you know, the story I told about the Daffodil Design, that started off like as a, that was going to be a mug design, but it, I decided not to use that as a mug design. So I have like a whole library of different designs that I sort of, you know, work on and then decide not to use them. Then I turned it into a little paper cut when I had a paper cutting machine, and that was really nice. I was going to do like 3D paper cut cards, but I got too frustrated with the machine. You know, I want things to work properly, and it was too fiddly and temperamental. So I decided that others do that better than me. So yeah, so it's those stories that people share. My customers like share with me, you know, that there's something that they have bought from me that has a special meaning to them, and that also has a special meaning to me as well, which is that lovely connection that you have with your customers. And that's something that I didn't think about when I started out this business, but it's something that really makes it very special, to have that connection with other people. That means a lot. So what else? Well, right, I'm going to show you some of the fabrics that I've printed up, that I'm going to turn into lampshades, that I haven't turned into lampshades yet because of time, and staring at spreadsheets all week. So yeah, this is the Verbena Bonariensis. Let me just show you. I'm going through. So what I do when with my designs, so they started off initially as sketches, and then I put them onto the computer so that I can put them onto any different surface. So like some of my designs started off on mugs, or on greeting cards, or on prints, like paper prints, for example. And then, which means when you actually put them onto the computer, it makes them far easier to manage and put them onto other surfaces. So, so like if you're buying, you know, anything that's got a pattern on it, it would have been manipulated in a computer, or if it's going to be mass produced. Not that my work is mass produced, but just in case it take off, and I do get lots of people wanting to buy stuff. So once I work out my design, then I set it onto I sort of put it into, I use Photoshop, and I lay out all the cushion or lampshades on a big meter or 1 meter by 2 meters file, which I then send to my printer, who they print up onto linen. They can print it onto anything. So I've had some of my designs printed onto velvet, and some of my designs printed onto lawn cotton, which my lovely friend Alison Bick made into a top for me, which I might wear tomorrow, I think, as a change. So then, they're printed onto linen. So I don't know if you can see. It's sort of, I like the feel of the linen when I'm making up the cushions, but also the lampshades. I think it sort of gives it a nice soft feel. And because it's printed and it's printed to order, it's not always perfect, but it looks good. They normally do, it's really lovely, and they're so if somebody orders a lampshade, I generally have a 2-week delivery time. So it takes me about 2 weeks to get the fabric, the printed to order, and then I make them up into shades or cushions. Cushions are taking a bit longer at the moment because I need to be in a comfortable frame of mind to make cushions. I don't know if anybody else finds that. And this week has been absolutely full on trying to organise this event. So I've had a bit of a delay on the cushions, but I'll get on with that next week. So printed to order. And then that is the dog cockles. And then also the designs. Right, so that is a 20 centimetre. And what I want to show you is I scale the design so it fits. So if you ordered fabric from, a beautiful fabric from Truro Fabrics or something and made it into a shade, you wouldn't necessarily have it scaled to fit the design of the shade. So what I'm trying to say is that shell is smaller than that shell because I've scaled it down. Which is the beauty of having my own designs, putting them onto, digitizing them so that they're on the computer. Then I can basically do what I like with them. I can change the colors, I can change the scales, I can put them onto different things, I can put them onto cushions, I can, get them printed up onto linen, I can get them made onto mugs, I can print them on greeting cards. Any product basically. I did start off with the first things that I did, products. When I started my business 5 years ago, I printed onto, I had lots of, what do you call them? Placemats printed up. And I had thousands of them, and they were all taxes. Good job my kids had left home by then, because their rooms turned into stock room number 1 and stock room number 2, and I just had placemats coming out my ears because you had to order loads to be able to get the the price right to be able to sell them. And it took me quite a few years to finally sell them all. And they are really nice. I've got a few here, and I think, oh, they're nice. But it's much easier printing to order. If somebody places an order, then you print it. So I've now not got rooms full of stock apart from lampshades. because I was planning to do lots of events this year, and so I had a lovely photo shoot done with all my lampshades. And at the beginning in spring, I was going to be doing lots of events, and obviously they're cancelled. So I do have quite a lot of lampshades at the moment, but that's not a bad thing, because then I can be doing events like this and show everybody the designs that I have got, and show you the potential of, the fact that you can change stuff. So this is going to be made into a 40 centimetre lampshade. A couple of years ago, I made some silk scarves, and this was one of my silk scarf designs, and it looked really nice. So yeah, I've adapted it into a lampshade. So that can be made up as a pendant or as a lamp. If you've got a big standard lamp, like I've got two there, those are 40 centimetre lampshades there. So you can, you can have them hanging from the ceiling or on a standard lamp. So I'm just going to show you some of my other designs. So this is a small agapanthus. This is going to be 20 centimetre lampshade when I make it up. And it's on like an eau de Nil background. But if you wanted a different background, then I can change that to fit, to suit anybody. This is the daffodils. Oh, this is a 40 centimetre daffodil. So that started off as it was a mug design that I decided not to use, which I think it would have made a really nice mug actually, but I just thought I had to make a decision and cull some of the designs. I ended up with about 24, no, more than that. Oh my God. I had so many mug designs, and got them printed at Chown, who are a lovely family just outside Hale, and Stuart Chown screen printed them all. And so anyway, so somebody at the Etsy Made Local in Penryn, one of my customers said, "Oh, do you do like a daffodil design?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I've got a daffodil design," thinking of the mug, that I had that I hadn't used. So she wanted it with a pink background, and because it was a present for her mum, and it was like going to be a very special present for her mum. And I liked the design, so I thought actually those are very Cornish colours. Although I sold all over the country, not just the Cornwall, but that is nice. That blue goes nicely with a lot of decors, and that's what I was sort of thinking. Pink and yellow is quite a specific colourway, and so I was trying to think of, my default colour is probably blue, and so that is 40 centimetres, and that's quite nice, because at the bottom of I don't know if you can see that, at the bottom of the lampshade, I make it up, it's sort of is a bit like that. So the bottom is white and then the blue is top. So it looks quite nice, that detail. And then I scale it up. So if it's like for a smaller lampshade, then I scale it. So you still get the nice daffodils. Nothing is cropped off. You still get the pattern. So that's the beauty of doing my own designs. I can change the colours. I can change what I put the designs onto, and I can adapt it to suit people's need. If they wanted a pink and yellow lampshade, then they can have that. That was there's a shop in the Isle of Wight called Jolie, I think is how you pronounce it. Emma, who owns the shop, contacted me on Instagram and asked me if I could do a wholesale order for her. So she's my first ever lampshade wholesaler, so stockist. And she asked for this dark blue on the cockles, and it looks really nice. So I've printed some up, and I will make those into lampshades. But yeah, it looks quite, and that is still the colour of 2020, isn't it? Classic blue Pantone. So if you're keen on keeping up with your colour trends, dark blue is a good colour, and also looks really nice with the orange as well. And I've got a special offer on my Etsy shop this weekend until midnight on Sunday. So if you're having a glass of wine and thinking about my lampshades this evening as you're watching telly, then you can, if you put in the discount code made local on my checkout on my Etsy shop, then you can get £10 off lampshades this weekend. So there we go. That's the, and then what else have we got? That is a 30 centimetre Lily of the Valley. And what I didn't realise this morning is that it matches my dress, which is quite nice. So as you can see, I've scaled the design. So I've got a 20 centimetre Lily of the Valley here, and you can see that, let me hold it up. You can see that it's bigger. So I scale up the design to match. So when you've got a 20 centimetre, it's not cropped. And the same for the 40 centimetre, I scale up to fit the lampshade size, which is works really well. And then this is a 30 centimetre vintage surf. And you can see, and it's different from the 20 centimetre because on the 20 centimetre, I haven't got the lady about to get washed away by the surf with her sun hat on. So yeah, that's a popular design. That was inspired by the Bellyboard Championships and photos of my grandparents in their woolen swimwear. And it's I'll just go back to this actually. What was I going to say? Yeah, I work part-time for Cornwall Heritage Trust, and one of the grants that they gave last year was to a musical band called the Rowan Tree. When they put in the grant application, I saw that this name called Cola Goldfields. I noticed it, and I got in touch with Laura, who had put in the grant application, and she was writing a project about Cola Goldfields. They were going to do an album. The Rowan Tree Music Band were going to do an album based on the story of the Cornish miners going out to India to work on the Cola Goldfields. My grandfather was a Cornish miner, and he worked in Cola Goldfields. And my mum was born in Cola Goldfields. So my grandfather went out there as a young man from Perranporth. And what happened was I put Laura in touch with my mum, who had lots of photos of my grandparents in India. And they met up, and they've now since become very good friends, along with Richard Trethewey, who wrote a song. Richard and Laura wrote a song about my grandparents. And it's, I won't be able to talk about it because it will make me cry, but it's really, it's just such a beautiful song, because the story of my grandparents and how they met was my granny worked in the post office in Perranporth, and my grandfather's sister sent a parcel to my grandfather, and she wrapped it so badly that my granny re-wrapped it before she posted it out. And when my grandfather wrote to his sister and said, "Thanks so much for your parcel, it's much better wrapped than the last one you sent out," and she said, "Oh no, it was Olive, who works in the post office, who wrapped it for you." And then that started like a 3-year correspondence between my grandfather and my grandmother. And then, like, after 3 years, he came back to Prenples on leave, and they got married. And within 6 weeks, they were back in India, where my mum was born. And so Richard wrote a song called "Man of Letters," which is inspired by my grandparents' love story. So that was just, it's really poignant that this illustration is inspired by my grandparents. And now they have a song written about them as well. And it's a beautiful song. So that's so, weird and lovely. And this sort of really made my mum think about part of her life that she hadn't, really, she's had such an interesting and sort of a varied life all across the world since that point. So it's really lovely to come back to that, her childhood and the story of my grandparents. So, yeah, so all of my designs really, mean something to me, and they have like a story behind them. And they're all, that it's, which makes them very special. So when somebody contacts me and tells me how much something means to them that they've bought from me, then that really, it's just such a lovely feeling. And it's one that you wouldn't have expected, like starting up your own business, selling designs that meant something to you. I would never have thought that people who bought it had that same sort of, had the same feeling from it. So it just means a lot, so much. And I've got some lovely customers, and which I'm very grateful for, especially during lockdown. They've managed to keep me afloat, which has been tough for so many. And, I'm just so grateful. So Blackthorn Blossom. This is another design that means something to me. So a couple of years ago, I had this printed onto silk, and I made some silk scarves, and which were really nice. But silk scarves maybe is a more specific market than other products. So anyway. But what I really like about this was also a mug design. What I really like about this is that every blackthorn blossom that comes out in, it's almost like the first thing that comes out in spring. But around late August, early September, Peter and I get our walking boots on and our long sticks and some containers, and we walk along the hedgerows in Cornwall, and we pick sloe berries, which is they come from the blackthorn trees. And so, then we put them in. What we do first is we freeze them. When I first started to make them, I used to prick them with a fork. But I don't know if anybody's done that. It turns your fingers into makes them all wrinkly because of the juice from the strawberries. And if anyone's tried to eat one by accident, it just sort of dries all the moisture out of your mouth. Anyway, so now what we've discovered is that if we freeze them and then we bring them out and defrost them, that's like broken them down a little bit, and then we put them in gin with a bit of sugar. And then Christmas Eve, no, it's not before Christmas Eve. When we start decorating the Christmas tree, that's when we have our first slow gin and tonic of the year, And yeah, it's very much like our Christmas tradition. So yeah, Blackthorn Blossom is inspired by our love of gin and our love of slow gin. So yeah, and that looks really nice. That's a lovely sort of olivey colour, like olive and mustard and citrus, I think. And the branches are in like a very dark olive grey. And yeah, that's a nice design. I'm really happy with how that looks on linen. So I'm going to make that into a lampshade. And then this is Dahlia. This is a nice, bright, cheery pattern, isn't it? So this, if anybody's been to the National Dahlia collection, which is down near, just outside Penzance, you'll probably see a brown sign for it. And it's like they sell their dahlias online, but they have the national collection of dahlias. So all their different varieties, and they're growing in fields there. And they allow you to go and have a look at all the different varieties, and then you can go and buy them on their website. They do have like a greenhouse where you can buy some, which we bought in the past. But when Peter finishes our garden, that's at the moment like a building site, I'm going to make sure that I've got lots of dahlias in there, because they are so gorgeous. And yeah, so that is my design, inspired by the National Dahlia collection. And that's also available as a greeting card on my Etsy shop. So, and I think I've ordered some fabric. I was going to make a cushion, but I haven't added that to my Etsy shop yet. But you can always let me know if you would want to, if you would be interested in it, and just let me know. So I've got about half an hour left of this live video. And so I hope people have been watching, and hopefully be enjoying. It's very difficult to tell if anyone has been watching. All the comments on my chat have said like a few seconds ago, so maybe I need to refresh, but yeah, so I hope it's been going well for everybody else. It's taken a lot of organisation, but it's really sort of the way forward, because the Etsy Made Local in Penryn is not taking place this year. So I mean, hopefully, if this pilot works out, we'll be running another one, nearer Christmas time, because it's really, a great way to connect with your customers. This sort of connecting online is a great way to connect with people that you would have been meeting otherwise, face to face at a big event. But the idea, initially, we were worried about putting on an event that potentially 5,000 people could come to. But in actual fact, we wouldn't be doing that anyway. So it's a lovely way of keeping in touch with our customers by doing these online events. And Sarah Drew, who's been co-organising this event with Catherine from Juniper Bags and Julia Crimmen, Sarah Drew organised 2 online craft fairs through Facebook Live, and which has given us all the confidence to do something like this. So if you are a maker, I definitely recommend, getting doing something like this, because it's a great way to be able to show your work. It's a bit one-way conversation, but you get used to hearing your own voice after a while. So that is a Daffodils Design. And this is a 20 centimetre vintage surf, which I will make up into a lampshade. And that is a Ginkgo Biloba design. These are all on my Etsy shop, and I've got a discount on there at the moment for lampshades over the weekend. So if you use the code MADELOCAL at the checkout, then you can get £10 off, which is a bargain. So this is a flamboyant flower lampshade. Sort of matches my outfit. So I grew up in a small group of islands in the Pacific called Vanuatu, and my parents used to collect orchids, and one of my jobs as a kid was to go down to the orchid house, which they had built around an enormous flamboyant tree. And so this design sort of reminds me of that, really, my childhood. And I think that's where my love of bright colours comes from, is, you know, having a bright tropical childhood. It only occurred to me recently that that might be why I really love bright colours. But yeah, that's fine. So yeah, that's I promised one of these to a friend of mine who hopefully I'll get to see soon. So yeah, who lived in New Zealand for a while. So what else have I got to show you? Let's see, what have I not? This is called the Teasel. So this is available in 40 centimetres, 30 cent. I'm just trying to get the light right so that you can see the design without the reflection on it. So yeah, this, my favourite beach in Cornwall is Polyjoke. It's such, we had I had my birthday on there last year with my son and his girlfriend and my daughter and my mum and Peter and the dog, and it's a dog-friendly beach, and it's just really lovely. You have to walk down a path to get to it, and it's near where the wildflower meadow and fields are on West Pentire. And so when you get down there, it's dog friendly, it's not very crowded, and as you walk down, there's teasel bushes sticking up out of the hedgerow, and goldfinches love teasel bushes. And so this design, the teasel design, reminds me of my favourite beach, and walking down with my family down to have a picnic on the beach. And when we lived in Newquay, that was, and Rufus was the puppy, that was one of the beaches that we went to, and he loves it. He loves swimming in the sea there, and it's just really nice. Very much like a nice, quiet family beach. I'm not very busy beach person. I like to sort of walk, do something, and then go. I'm not very good at sitting and relaxing on the beach. I don't really like sunbathing. So so it's like a walk down, really nice little pathway to walk down to it, and then sort of do business, go for a swim, walk the dog, and then come back again. I'll have a little surf. Peter and I have got wooden belly boards that my brother gave us for 50 years, a couple of years ago. And it's, so we like to go down. It's quite hard. We realise, like, with having a dog, it's quite difficult to go to the beach with a dog and surf. You can't really do it. One person has to do it and the other one. So yeah, at the moment it's sort of mostly dog walking. And oh, oh, thank you. I'm just seeing messages coming through. Thank you so much. Anyway, so that is Teasel. That's inspired by my favourite beach, Bully Joke. And I'm missing, usually, I've become a regular stall holder at a really lovely little market in Crantock. It's like a farmer's market, but they have people like me there. And so they have a few makers, and they have flower, sellers, and hot food sellers. So I am really missing it. I'm missing having that contact with my lovely fellow stall holders, but also with the customers as well. So I'm thinking of the market as well when I'm thinking of my Teasel design. And the people that run it, they're so nice. I'm missing that. Yeah, so a lot of my designs are, well, as I said before, they're inspired by my life in Cornwall, and they're for people who like flowers, like nature, people that buy my designs are gardeners, or they love flowers. I sell to quite a few fellow makers as well, because they like sort of having something colourful and creative in their home, and they can appreciate the sort of work and thought that has gone behind my designs. And right, let me see, what else can I show you? Shall I quickly show you the prints that I've got? So I'll just quickly run through some of the prints that I have. So that is Arthur and Olive. That's inspired by my grandparents. I sort of nearly cried when I told you their love story earlier on, which is ridiculous. I'm not going to cry on YouTube. So yeah, that's called Arthur and Olive. People who buy that are love belly boarding, or they love the sea. People buy it as a wedding gift. I've also got one called George and Arthur. When George was my newest character, so he's sort of bearded. So I sort of developed this whole character. He was sort of like to whittle bowls in his spare time, and he was sort of like a very sort of modern retro surfer, loved a wooden board. And I can't remember what his character was, but yeah. So anyway, that's Arthur and Olive after my grandparents. That's available as a print on my Etsy shop. If you want it framed, you can also ask. I can also get it framed as well. Just message me and ask me, and I can gift wrap it and write I've got a matching greeting card if you wanted to send it as a wedding gift to somebody who loves surfing or loves the sea. Also looks really nice in a sort of coastal home. So yeah, that's Arthur and Olive. Then we've got Catch of the Day, which was started off as a screen print. So that is inspired by a boat trip with my mum and my family, my nephews, and my brother, off Newquay Harbour. And we went out for the day fishing and caught lots of different types of fish. Thank you so much, Lauren. Thank you. It's been going really well. I'm sure I've messed up lots of times, but it's good. So yeah, that's also available as a lampshade. And lampshade. I haven't got a greeting card yet, but one day maybe I'll do it as a greeting card. That is called You Say Lido, I Say Lido. So that's inspired by, there's a Jubilee pool down in Penzance where they're going to, it's going to be hot water soon, which will make me go in because I'm quite a tropical water temperature kind of person. That's my interpretation of a mermaid, strong, fierce, and in control. She doesn't wait around on a rock for any man. So that's that. So I've got a whole selection of prints on my Etsy shop if you want to have a look. And I've got lots of cushions and lampshades. They're all printed, they're all my designs. They're printed onto linen in the UK, and then I make them into cushions and lampshades. And because they're my own designs, I can change the colours. I can put them onto any surface. This is also available as a greeting card and a print. And the lampshades are available in 3 different sizes on my Etsy shop. But if you wanted something specific, like for example, one of my customers recently has had a US style fitting lamp base, and so I managed to get her a US fitting to make a big large agapanthus lampshade. So, but the standard sizes, if you look on my booth here, I've got a code that's called Made Local, and if you enter that at the checkout, if you're buying a lampshade, then you get £10 off lampshades for this weekend. So that's a 20 centimetre diameter, and that's a lamp. But if you wanted a pendant, you can see hanging from the ceiling, you need to select that at the checkout, what fitting you would like. And I've also got, that is the 40 centimetre size there. Those are the Bird of Paradise designs, and they are also available in cushions. So I've got 2 different colourways on my Etsy shop. I've got the dark blue and then the teal, if you can see that difference there. So now I've got some really lovely photos on my shop. I had a professional photographer take some photos just before lockdown. And I'm so glad because it really has made a difference. It's really nice to have good photographs that you can use for lots of different things. So if you're a maker, I definitely recommend just investing in getting some professional photography of your work, because it really makes a difference. And it just sort of, gives a different life to your products. But, unless you're a professional photographer, that you're not necessarily aware of how it looks. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that went. And then I'm going to just show you, I think I'm nearly running out of time. So I'm just going to quickly show you the greeting cards. I've got lots of greeting cards on my Etsy shop, and they're really popular. They're blank inside, and they're all printed with my own designs. And so they're sort of like, the design carries across from the front to the back. And I've matched them up with a colour envelope because I think it really makes the colours stand out. And it's quite a nice sort of, way of sending them. I also sell them in packs of 6, and I can gift wrap them. So I've had some people buying them as gifts, and which is really nice, it's nice, especially if people are writing lots of letters, writing more post at the moment. They're not seeing their loved ones as much. So they are, making the most of being able to take the time to write letters. It's so much nicer, isn't it? And it's really nice to have it, as a receiver. Isn't it lovely to get a nice card in the post from somebody who you've been missing, you haven't seen for a while? So this is Verbena bonariensis. So I got this in my garden, and on the background I put bouquets of tiny pink purple flowers on tall, spindly stems, attract butterflies and bees throughout the summer and early autumn. Because it's a fantastic flower because it lasts for so long during the summer. And that's obviously available as a lampshades and cushions and a print on my Etsy shop as well. This is called Mexican Fleabane. So if you walk along sort of streets, you'll see these come out of all different types of like if they're in one garden, they've spread to another garden. I just planted some in mine, but I hope I'm not going to regret it and end up with loads everywhere. But it's a lovely daisy that has lots of different, it's like yellow, pinks and whites, like all in one leaf. So, you get a lot of that in Cornwall. And I presume that other places in the UK have them. But it's called Mexican Fleabane Daisy. And that is a stargazer lily, which is a nice card. And I've also turned this design into a white lily for a lampshade. So it's got a teal background, and that's on my Etsy shop. I haven't got any fabric printed at the moment, but usually it takes about 2 weeks. If somebody places an order, it takes about 2 weeks to get the fabric printed, and then I make it up into a shade. I do it like that, so that at the moment I've got quite a bit of fabric to make up into shades, but generally I try to keep my stock really low and just make to order. I think that's the way forward, because I learnt my lesson when I first started out my business. I bought thousands of placemats with my designs on. And it took me quite a few years to sell them. And I had all my stock room was full of, stock room. Luckily, my kids have both gone off to university because their rooms became stock room A and stock room B. And it was full of placemats. And I did really love them. I really loved their design. But they, I haven't got room to have lots of stock. So that's why I make to order now. And the reason why I've got so much stock here at the moment is that I did the photo shoot in March. And so I made up lots of shades for the photo shoot. And then I was expecting to take part in quite a few spring flower shows that I had booked stalls at, and obviously they were cancelled. So that's why I've got a very nice selection, which has been very handy for these online events, and especially this weekend as well. So yeah, that's worked well. Agapanthus, that's available as a lampshade, cushion, print, and greeting card. And also during Christmas, I make lavender bags with the fabrics. So I will be doing that again later on. I'm just waiting for the lavender to be ripe because I want to, obviously have this year's lavender. So I'll be making those up for later on in the year to sell on my Etsy shop. But I sold a lot of them last year. Etsy made local in Penryn, and that was really, they were really popular. It was a really nice little gift to send somebody. So yeah, that's the Fritillaria. That's Rudbeckia. It's like a daisy. Oh, well, no, sunflower family I've got written on here. So, yeah, bright yellow. And the other one I wanted to show you, I've got Bird of Paradise. Last year I made, I had this Bird of Paradise design printed onto velvet, and I made like a 1 by 2 meter velvet throws. I made a couple of them which I sold, and they were really special. Oh, they were just gorgeous. And if you don't have a dog like I do, then they're really nice. Like you can have them on your sofa or on your bed. And I'll be making some more again at the for coming up to Christmas. I'm going to start sort of from September. I'm going to start selling those again on my Etsy shop. And I've also got a Hellebore design, and I've got an Agapanthus velvet throw. So I've just got to make those up and get the Bird of Paradise printed. So all of my greeting cards are on my Etsy shop, but also you can buy them in packs of 6 on there as well. So this is the sunflower, which I've also got printed as a greeting, as a lampshade there. You can see. So I've got a lampshade like that by my bedside, because it's sunflower is such a positive flower. What I really like about them, and I've written this on the back, is that sunflowers follow the sun's path across the sky. Keep your chin up. So it's like such a lovely card to send somebody who's feeling a little bit sort of down. And there's a lot of that, lots of people struggling at the moment. So sending a card to somebody is such a great way to let them know that you're thinking about them, and, keeping in touch with them like that. So, that's, what else have I got here? Oh, that's Olive Augusta. And that's like such a great card to somebody who loves wild swimming. I've got a collection of all those surfing sort of I call it sorry, just need some water. Like vintage surf collection of prints and greeting cards. Oh, good job I've had that water handy. Hard work talking for 3 hours. So yeah, I hopefully I've sort of talked through a lot of what I do and my inspiration behind my designs, and why it means so much when people get in touch with me and tell me how much, if they've given something as a gift to somebody. It's just wonderful when they get in touch and they say, how much that meant, and how much somebody loved something. And also, what I really love is when I send out lampshade orders and people send me photographs of the lampshades in their new homes. And that's really nice as well, because our decor is quite specific here. And so it's really nice to see them in different settings that probably a bit more contemporary and, sort of a bit more modern. And then we live here in a Victorian house. So, it's really nice to see that. I think that's it. I've got, these are the different cushions that I have. This is dog cockles, it's called. I think I called it something like seashells on my Etsy shop. But they are my illustration of dog cockles, which from walking on the beach, Fistral Beach with Rufus. Fistral Beach is in Newquay. If you walk along the Strand line, you will see these little half shells. And I looked them up because I thought, I love the orange tessellations, and then the blue ones had like stripes, and that everyone was different. And I was thinking, it's like it's been painted by sea sprites because they were so different. Each one is like a different shape and a different pattern. And so I looked it up, and it was called dog cockles. And so I thought that would make a really nice illustration. So I sell them as prints on my Etsy shop. And then also I thought it would look really nice on fabric. And at the last year, I was selling lavender and grain hand warmers that were shaped in the shape of a cockle, and they're called Warm Your Cockles. So what you do is you put them in the microwave for a couple of seconds, and then it warms your hands, and they smell nice because of the lavender in it. And so you can put them in your coat pocket when you go out walking the dog, to keep your hands warm. And so I've got some more fabric for those printed up. As soon as the lavender is ready, I'm going to be starting to make those again to put onto my Etsy shop. So if anyone's interested in those, just let me know, and we'll be posting them up when they are available. A top tip: if you're looking on Etsy and you like somebody's work, if you favorite their shop, when they post an update on their shop, then it will appear on your, next time you look on Etsy, it will appear in your home page of Etsy, on your landing page. So that's a good, if you want to keep an eye on a maker, it's a good idea to favorite their shop or favorite a product. And then it will appear, it'll come up. So when I put up new products, I'm going to be using that update on my Etsy shop to let people know that there's something new happening. Yeah, so that's dog cockles. They also, this one's got a hyperallergenic pad inside it, but I also sell them with feather pads. Like some people prefer feather, some people prefer hyperallergenic. They're the same price. So just state. I think I've set it up as a variation, as a preference. So all you have to do is select which one you prefer, and then they have a nice little label which I sew in. So and it's like an invisible zip on there. So yeah, I sew these all. I've got to be in the right frame of mind. So this week, with organising the event, I haven't made the lampshade orders. Oh, thank you, Lucille, thank you. So yeah, they've been really popular. Hey, that's great. I can see people on the chat, so it's really nice. I sort of set it up so I've got a dual screen going on, so I can make sure that people can see that I'm in quite a dark room, so I'm relying on natural daylight. And sometimes the colours are, but anyway, you can get a good idea of the colour. So yeah, it's been really good. I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed talking to myself for 3 hours, but it's really lovely to see when people put a little comment in the chat to see that they're watching, which is really great. So yeah. Normally at the Etsy Made Local live events, we normally spend, all day, and we're chatting to lots of different customers, but it's a two-way street. You can hear their stories and you can tell them your stories, and you find that common ground, and you find that they're passionate about the same flowers that you're passionate about, or they love surfing. So it's so different to just spend that time doing my one-way stories and my one-way chat. But it's a great way of communicating with your customers, and hopefully. Oh, I know. I wish you could too, Lucy. I wish you could chat back to me as well. But it's still, we've got to make do with what the way that things are at the moment, and it's a great way to be able to sell your products. To talk through and explain the different, all of my designs, I can change the colors. So people send me a link to the website where they bought the paint from, and then I'll match the colors to the background. For example, this I had an order for a stone. This lady sent me a link to a paint that she was painting her sitting room. So I could change my design, my Hellebore design, which is normally in a dark grey. I could change it to match her wall colour. So I've also recently sold a teal one. So I can do any, that's the beauty of having my own designs and printing to order, is that I can, choose, I can help my customers as much as possible get their ideal shade. And I think that's why they, like some people come back and order more again for different rooms, or order for their friends. So, and they come in different sizes as well. I've got 3 standard sizes on my Etsy shop. But if you want, that's the 40 centimeters on the standard lamps over there. But if you want a different size, then get in touch, because I do those as well. I did an American fitting for a woman that had an American lamp base. She's in the UK, but she had obviously brought this American lamp base, and they have a different lamp fitting, so I could help her out with that. One lady sent me a photo of a rounded rectangle lamp base that she wanted matching, so I was able to do a design specifically for her lamp fitting. So that's the thing, that I will scale it up and down. So like a rectangular lamp is different, obviously, so I design it so that it all fits in. So I'm just checking what time it is, nearly time. Yeah, so as you can see, like the flowers are different sizes, so I scale it. So not getting like cropped designs on your lamp shade. And also on my checkout, if you're wanting to buy for a ceiling, don't forget to select pendant for hanging down. And these are all mostly lamp fittings, because I sell more with the lamp fittings than with pendant. And also it's easy to photograph for adding to your products, like on a lamp fitting, rather than trying to take a photo from the ceiling. So yeah, so if you have a specific color or design in mind, get in touch. Oh, one of my customers in the Etsy Made Local in St Ives, lovely Debbie, who's been a really good customer, she contacted me and said, I need a tropical flower for my tropical decor in my sitting room with oranges and purples. So I knew exactly what she wanted. So I did this Strelitzia Bird of Paradise flower design. And it's been one of my most popular designs, actually. So I always say, I sort of half joke that my best ideas come from my customers, because they do. they have the best ideas. And I just try to help them as much as possible. So, but I also have to feel it as well. My tropical childhood, I knew exactly, what sort of tropical flower I wanted to do for Debbie and St Ives. So that's, and then this is my latest design that I've just added to my Etsy shop, which was it was a Christmas card design a few years ago, but I had it printed onto a really dark background. But I thought like dark mint was quite a nice background. Don't know if you can see that. So that's available in a 30 centimetre, 40 centimetre and 20 centimetre, which is, this is a 20 centimetre. And that's called Cyclamen. And yeah, so that's one of my new designs. The other new one, well, it's new to fabric, but it's an old design. It was a greeting card starting off, it was a calendar. I did a series, I did a calendar a few years ago, and it was on my calendar. And then I put it onto a greeting card. And then I've put it onto fabric. And I'm going to make up, I've got some cushion, made a template for some cushions. So I was going to make it into a cushion because I thought it looked really nice. So it's dahlias. If you are in Cornwall in September, go to the National Dahlia Collection just outside Penzance. It's beautiful. They've got all the dahlias in the world in this one field. So if you go there, you will see where I get my inspiration for this design from. So thank you so much. I think it's 2 o'clock now. So thank you. Thank you so much for watching me today, and I hope you have enjoyed watching me trying to professionally present my products. It's quite tricky, and I think I'll need to do another video to replace this one because I started off sort of trying to make sure that everything worked okay, and so I think what I will do is do another recording and save that onto this video, onto this line. Thank you so much for watching me today. I'm going to be live streaming again at 11 tomorrow morning until 2 tomorrow afternoon. But you can watch videos, go and have a look at all the other sellers. There's some really lovely work from, we've got such a fantastic team of makers down here in Cornwall, and really high quality work. And they also happen to be really lovely people as well. I really feel like I've met my tribe down here of makers, very lovely creative community. So have a look. Thank you so much for your support today. And the website, Hop-In website that Etsy are hosting, that's going to be live until midnight on Sunday. So you'll be able to browse later on and have a look at the all the different sellers. You don't have to catch them while they're live. And some people have pre-recorded video. So thank you so much for watching today, and catch you again tomorrow. Work out how to switch it off.